everyone! I'm going to be teaching you how to make a tangerine that you can draw on. Let's see. Well, my marker is kind of shitty, but it's smiling at you. Oh no, it's angry. So this is what we're going to be making. So the materials that you will need for this, you will need, well, this is the way I did it anyway, wet floral foam, soft flour molding clay. You will need yellow and red. You will be using more of the yellow, so I suggest if you're making more than one tangerine, you're definitely going to want to get more of yellow. You will also need a container of water. That's for the clay. You will need clear finish, low odor clear finish, clear nail polish, toothpicks, what else? Oh, a cutting mat or something you can get dirty, leaves, which I didn't pull with me now, but you'll need them, so get them. And then you'll want a tangerine guide. I use Tanjo. He is about the size that I would like my tangerines and kind of the color that I want them to. So you'll basically just need something around the size and color that you want, so probably a picture would be fine too. So we'll just leave Tanjo there. So the first thing you'll want to do is, oh, I've got water all over this. Help. Okay, I'm just going to move that for now. So you'll want to cut your tangerine down out of the wet floral foam. I just grabbed any kitchen knife. I can't remember what I had originally used, so we'll just go with this. Be careful, I guess. Yeah. So I actually have a pretty big piece here, and we're not going to be using a lot of this. So if you're not really wasteful, definitely get a smaller portion. So I'm just going to be cutting this down now to get to the size that I want my tangerine. You don't want to cut it exactly to that size that you want the tangerine, because once you cut it down just enough, you're going to smush it, because floral foam is soft. So you want to be cutting it in kind of an oval egg shape because tangerines are not round. So let's see. So this is about the size that I want it right now. We'll just push that out of the way. Okay, now so I'm going to smush it down. Try to get my tangerine size. So smush, 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 smush. But as you can see, after I've smushed it all down, it's still larger than Tanjo. But it's alright, because now what you're doing, you're peeling off that extra layer because it crumbs off really easily. And the reason you're doing this is because when you start to put the flour clay on it, it'll bunch up and it'll ruin your clay, and just you'll hate yourself and everyone around you. So we'll take all of that off. And it's alright if when you're taking all of this off, that it actually gets smaller than your guide tangerine. Because when we put the flour clay over it, that'll make it bigger. And now this thing is kind of looking like a Muna. That's a really ugly Pokemon. And it's also alright if it's cracking here, because you will put the flour clay over it. Yeah, I'm just going to take that off too. Okay, so now that's done, you're going to want to mix your clay. But because all this green stuff is on your hands, make sure you get it all off because you do not want the green mixing in with your orange. So, back to your cutting mat. That is kind of wet, but that's alright because you'll need the water anyway. So, for your clay, you're going to be using, like I said, more yellow than red. And I've learned that I'm going to be using about half a pack of this, of the yellow, to make it. And let's see, I have got a 1.75 ounce here. So just keep that in mind for however many you're going to be making and the size of them. So at this point, you're pretty much just mixing to get the color you want. So I'm taking all my foam. I think overall I'll maybe need this much, maybe not, I'll put more. And then red. Just a little bit of the red. You'll probably be adding more in later. So you're just mixing. Use water while you're mixing this as you need it. So, now that we've got that, we want to make sure we have enough clay to go around the wet floral foam. And I don't think I do, because the thinner you make these things, the more it'll crack. So I definitely don't have enough. So now we want to flatten it out so that we can just kind of wrap it right around the wet floral foam. So you're just kind of making a circle, round circle. You know what, on second thought I might have used too much clay, but it's alright. It's alright. Okay, I'm going to take my foam. I'm just going to wrap it around. And as you're doing this, try not to get the green on the outside. Just don't want it mixing too much. And I've got like a little pocket, and I'm just going to bring it over and close up that hole. Okay, now I'm just squeezing the clay down to get more into the shape that I needed. And you'll want to kind of squeeze all the air out too. There will be in there. Okay, so I think I've squeezed everything out. And as you can see that I've got some green on the outside. But again, that's alright because fruit are not perfect. So I think I've made this one actually a little too large compared to my other tangerine. It's quite larger, but that's all right. So now you're just smoothing everything out. I'm gonna see if I can try to squeeze it to be a little smaller. Probably put too much clay on it. Can I take off some clay? Maybe. Be careful because you don't want to open any holes like I just did. You're going to take some water and you're just going to be smoothing it out now. And just rub so you get like all those like fat creases out. So I've got a pretty lumpy tangerine, But that's alright because they aren't perfect. Really large, lumpy tangerine. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's my tangerine. So, let's see. Oh, so now I want to make a... Oh, and it's alright if you just want to put that down, because that's going to be the bottom and nobody should see that anyway. So now I'm going to take that toothpick and I'm going to stick it in the top. Just kind of the tip. It shouldn't go all the way in. And I'm just going to rotate it a little bit to get a hole. This will be the hole for my stem, to put my stem and leaf in there. That looks about right. Yeah. Use your best judgment, I suppose. So, now that that's done, now it's the waiting game. We get to wait until this dries. And I can't remember any of my original instructions. So I'm going to let it dry. Oh, let's see, okay. It air dries to firm consistency within 24 hours. So we have to wait a whole day now. Okay, so I'm just going to start cleaning up and I will see you all tomorrow. Make sure you put your tangerine in an area where it will not get damaged while it's drying. And if you pick it up, whatever, like this, don't worry, because you can always go back with water and smooth everything out. So, I'm going to go wash my hands, clean up, and I will see you in 24 hours.